let's go into the food. We talked about in part one how if you eat too close to bedtime, that can potentially disrupt, in particular, maybe your deep sleep because your body is working on digesting the food that you just ingested rather than actually in getting into deep sleep. What does the science say about how early before bedtime we should be looking to stop eating?
Yeah, generally about 3 hours. For some people, it's more. For some people, we can get away with a little bit less. But again, that kind of goes back to how fast of a metabolizer are you,
Mm,
and also what types of food are you eating? Because different food is going to metabolize at different rates, I'm sure you're
right.
aware. So it's like if I'm eating a steak, it's going to take a little bit more to break that down than if I'm eating some carbs or something like that that are
Gotcha.
that are a little quicker to break down. But generally, if you can have like a 3 hour fasting window from your last meal to when you go to sleep, that's ideal. For most people, that might not be realistic.
Yeah.
So you just do the best you can, do the best you can.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And so is the main reason for that because it will disrupt your deep sleep because your body is working on digesting rather than resting during that time?
Yeah, and I've been tracking my sleep and measuring my sleep for about 5 years, maybe a little bit longer. And I've absolutely noticed on the nights where I eat a little bit later, absolutely affects my deep sleep for sure.
Mm.
And I've seen that, we've helped thousands of people all across the United States at this point at Sleep Science Academy. And I've seen that in the data as well, like seeing clients that have deficiency in specifically deep sleep. And then we start talking about, well, what time do you normally eat? And they're, oh, I eat 9 o'clock. What time do you go to bed? Well, I go to bed at, 10 o'clock. It's
Yeah.
like, so yeah, these little habits make a huge difference. It can be hard to change. And I think it's really important also to measure. If you want to improve something, you got to measure it.
Yeah.
And now we have great devices and trackers and things that we can actually start to see, hey, I ate a little bit earlier and that made a big difference in my deep sleep. And it's, you get a little bit more motivation to continue that behavior.
Mm, awesome. Talk to me about the role that temperature plays with regards to falling asleep and staying asleep. I've heard you want to set your thermostat maybe somewhere around 65 to 68 degrees for ideal low temperatures. And then I've also heard that maybe taking a hot bath or a hot shower before going into bed will help get your internal body temperature, um, basically raise your internal body temperature to fall asleep. Do I have that right?
No,
Or
it's
do
the
you have the
opposite.
one
So
opposite?
it is
Opposite.
confusing though, because if you take a hot shower or hot bath, you think you're warming up your body.
But
But what
you're
happens is
cooling.
when you get out, your core body temperature drops.
Right.
Um, so because what happens is all the blood rushes to your extremities, your feet and your hands and the top of your head. And so when that happens, your core body temperature actually drops. And that's what you need your core body temperature you want in order for sleep to happen, it needs to drop 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit in order for sleep to happen. So our body temperature naturally drops to induce sleep. And if, like the circadian rhythm, our body temperature fluctuates all throughout the day as well, and that correlates to different hormones and different things within the body. But generally speaking, having a cooler environment, like you mentioned, there are studies that kind of show the ideal time or ideal temperature is around 65 to 68 degrees, give or take. So cooler is better. And I've also noticed in my own experimentation and working with thousands of people over the last 7 years, um, that temperature, having a cooler room does make a difference for quality of sleep. It
Mm.
does. And now there's amazing devices too, like the Sleep 8 bed, which is a cool mattress cover that kind of can help drop your body temperature by cooling. There's a lot of different things that you can do to support the dropping of temperature. One is the ambient temperature. You could also get bedding that is breathable, that doesn't hold heat. A lot of people don't realize your mattress, like foam, holds heat. So
Mm.
it doesn't allow your body temperature to fluctuate as well as it would if you were on like a latex mattress, for instance, that's more or a mattress that has a um, springs or something else in it that's not just foam. So there's all these little things to think about when it comes to body temperature and
Yeah, that's cool.
optimizing it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool.